There's a thing you've been talking about for over a year. You could describe it in detail. You've maybe even done the easy parts, and you have not started it. Every few months, the excuse changes, but the not starting stays exactly the same. You've almost certainly filed this under laziness or discipline or willpower. That's the wrong diagnosis, and because it's wrong, every fix you tried has failed. Here's the proof. You're not lazy in general. You work hard at other things. You'll clean the entire kitchen to avoid this one task. Lazy people don't reorganize a cupboard to escape a document. That's not an absence of energy. That's energy being spent on escape. Mark Manson gives the real explanation in the subtle art of not giving a F***ck, and he states it as a law. The more something threatens your identity, the more you will avoid it. Not threatens your comfort, not threatens your schedule, threatens who you believe you are. And the size of the avoidance tracks the size of that threat almost perfectly. Manson's reasoning is that there's a certain comfort in knowing how you fit in the world. Anything that shakes up that comfort, he writes, even if it could potentially make your life better, is inherently scary. He had a friend who wanted to be an artist. This friend did everything right. Saved the money, built the websites, uploaded the portfolio. Everything was finished and ready and sitting there. For years, he never launched it. And Manson's explanation is the sentence that makes this whole thing click. The real potential of becoming an artist nobody likes was far, far scarier than remaining an artist nobody's heard of. Read that again slowly. Unlaunched, he got to keep being an artist. Launched and ignored, he'd have to become something worse, an artist who was actually judged. So the safest thing he could possibly do was never find out, which sets up the part almost nobody sees coming. If avoidance is about protecting identity, then failure isn't the only threat. Success is a threat too, and Manson says it flat out. This is why people are often so afraid of success, for the exact same reason they're afraid of failure. It threatens who they believe themselves to be. His second friend was the party guy. Lonely, unhealthy, openly envious of the friends who'd settled down, and completely unable to change because, as Manson puts it, the party guy was all he knew how to be. To give that up would be like committing psychological harakiri. Getting better would have cost him the only self he had. So the misery was, in a strange way, cheaper. Underneath both stories sits one cognitive rule. The belief always takes precedence. If you believe you're a nice guy, you'll quietly avoid any situation that could prove otherwise. If you believe you're a great cook, you'll go looking for chances to prove it again. You don't follow the evidence. You protect the belief. And it's everywhere once you see it. Not writing the screenplay, because it questions your identity as a practical, sensible person. Not raising the difficult subject with your partner, because it challenges your identity as someone good. Not ending the friendship, because you're supposed to be forgiving. So here's the test, and it takes about 30 seconds. Take the thing you've avoided for a year. Then ask two questions. What would I have to stop being if this went badly? And what would I have to stop being if this went well? If both of those answers have something in them, you found it. That's the law running. There's a second tell, and it's the one from the very start of this video. Your excuses keep changing while the non-action stays constant. Constant output with rotating explanations means the explanations were never the cause. Now the fix, and is not what self-help usually sells you. Manson's prescription is deliberately uncomfortable. I say don't find yourself, he writes. I say never know who you are. The move is to define yourself in terms broad enough that failing at one specific thing can't threaten the whole definition. Practically, describe yourself by what you're doing, not by what you are. Not I am a writer, which one bad review can break. Just I write. That version survives contact with reality. And then there's the starting problem itself, because even with the threat named, you still have to move. Most people run a one-way model in their head. Inspiration, then motivation, then action. Which means when you don't feel inspired, you wait. Sometimes for years. Manson's correction is that it was never a chain. It's a loop. Action isn't just the effect of motivation, he writes. It's also the cause of it, which means you can enter the loop anywhere, including at the end. He got this from a high school math teacher, Mr. Packwood, whose advice was, if you're stuck on a problem, don't sit there and think about it. Just start working on it. Even if you don't know what you're doing, the simple act of working on it will eventually cause the right ideas to show up in your head. So the move is to do something. Anything. Make it small enough to be genuinely embarrassing, because its job is not to produce a result. Its job is to produce a reaction you can then use. You're not lazy. You're guarding something. Find out what it is, hold it a little more loosely, and then do something so small it couldn't possibly threaten anyone, especially you.